you this. We do believe lords, Black Storm, Hunters, the White Lady, and the Ice Duchess. For sure. Charles talk of 9 or a dozen, even if 30. And I doubt they would have freely given the information of how to kill. Have died. We just have to discover how.
Where did they come from?
Most of the war. But I have found certain scrolls that lead me to believe they have been around more than 300 years. They are originally... For a long time, they remained there. The beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer, maybe even the last century. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin. The dwarf kingdoms were in their way, and they put up a fight.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but dwarves? Save it for the children.
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist, but the Ice Lords exterminated them.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those poor dragons and goblins.
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist. You're impossible.
Do they have any weaknesses that we could exploit?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords are powerful sorcerers. They are far more powerful than all the other magicians. They have an unlimited army. If they have a weakness, it's not that.
But in spite of all of this, you think there is something?
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power. But that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pooled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertial, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're done.
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them, even if for the moment, I can't think how.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me in the temple?
I'm still searching for an explanation. Something must have gone wrong during the ritual.
But what was the god's damn ritual supposed to do?
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magical powers to try and find a way of combating the Ice Lords. But instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father...
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that force flowed into you. It could have been my father, or any of us, I guess.
Well, that's just great. What do I do now?
I would dearly like to help you. But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours, at least for now. But until we have found out more, you must try to fight against this thing. Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are or how powerful it is. It could be dangerous for you.
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures who live here. But for now...
So then, any result from the study of all these creatures of the swamps?
Well, I'd really...
So then...
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these...
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
Many of the people on Vertial believe that the World Heart is just a myth. There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common than not.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born. I've already heard that crap.
If we were to imagine Vertiel as a living being, it's what keeps the world alive. If you wish, I can try to learn more about it. Come back and see me in a few days.
I'd like to ask you a few
What?
We need to talk about your combat style.
What do you want me to do?
You can't just defend yourself. You've got to go out and hit those enemies.
I will do what I can, but it's not really my specialty.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know? I can't wait to discover all the species that live here. There is so much.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
Really? He's not normally much of a talker. You torture him or something?
No, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just think he has a lot of respect for you.